If you're a loyal subscriber to our channel, then you know we will always review Shadow Systems pistols. And even more so, if you're loyal to us, you probably know what's inside this case if you're here watching this video now. If you're new to the channel though, we have a treat for you today. Today, we're going to review the all-new Shadow Systems CR920XP. Let's start off with, what is the CR920XP? Well, the Shadow Systems CR920X is a full-size frame slimline pistol like the Glock 48 or 43 with a 15 round capacity in here. You obviously have an optics cut and everything like that. Then going into the all new XP, this is a compensated version of that. So you'll notice it is a little bit longer and does have a fuller length dust cover here across the bottom. I have tested that dust cover there on the bottom. You can fit a standard TLR7A Sub light on there, so no issues with that. But more importantly, guys, if you're new here or you've been here for a while, go down there and show you're subscribed to the channel, or subscribe if you're new. Like the video and share it with your friends, because that helps promote the channel, helps push the video out to others who may not see it, and ultimately help us grow our channel and provide you the content that you would know and love. Now with the CR920XP, we had a ton of requests to, when are you guys going to review this? Because obviously we've worked with Shadow Systems for a while. We review all of their guns. Started off with me buying, 3 of them. Ultimately they start, with the MR920, the DR920, and XR920. So we started off by buying those pistols, reviewing them, and it caught the attention of Shadow Systems because they appreciate our quality. So I've been a fan of them for a while. I regularly carry the CR920X, and I found it a very easy pistol to conceal, to carry, and ultimately the reason I like it so much is because I get a full grip on this pistol and I don't have any issues shooting it. Like the 365 series and the Hellcat series, unless you're going into the Macro or the Hellcat Pro, the grip size on those is a little bit small, but those pistols themselves are also a little bit larger than what this pistol is. So now if you go into the XP, this is a direct competitor to the Sig X Macro, the ported or comped version, the new Hellcat Pro Comp, or the all-new Carry Comp Shield from Smith & Wesson. Now, you'll see a future video of those pistols once we procure that Smith & Wesson pistol. We don't have it. We do have the Macro and the Pro Comp, but we know if we put that video out for you guys, everybody will complain, say we didn't have a Smith & Wesson there. So we'll get the pistol and then we'll make that video. But for now, we'll focus on this thing. So with the CR920XP, you have a 3 3/4 inch length barrel on here total. So it's a little bit shorter than 4 inches. And then you have a comp up here on the front that actually indexes off of like a lugged barrel design. And then it adds, let's say about 3/4 of an inch overall to this pistol. The pistol's overall length is identical to a Glock 48. So if you're familiar with that pistol, that's what you can expect with this. It's not any longer than the CR920P that Shadow Systems had. However, this does have a full length grip on here and an extended dust cover on here, which actually adds and makes it a nice flush fit and really clean, sleek design here with the comp on this CR920XP. Again, I haven't shot this pistol. I've never had hands on it until today. I frankly picked it up from the FFL. I put this Holosun EPS Carry sight on here, and I look forward to shooting this thing and ultimately seeing some first reactions of how it shoots. It does have a 15 round capacity. They do have 18 round mags coming out. They are not available yet. However, they are in the pipeline. It does have night vision sights on here that you get a full co-witness using this EPS Carry on here that fits perfectly. If you're unfamiliar with the optic system on a Shadow Systems pistol, it's a multi-optic footprint, meaning you can mount any of your smaller slimline sights on here, like our Defender CCW. You can mount that on here. We have the EPS Carry. You can put your 507 or 407 series on here, and there's a few others that fit. And I just decided to go with the EPS Carry because I hadn't tried one of these yet. So I'm looking forward to also trying this red on here. I think it's a great overall package, and for myself with large hands, I am able to get that nice full-size grip, and the pistol feels great in my hands. So let's get some first shots through this thing. You guys will see first shot impressions from me. We'll run it through some drills, and I really just want to see how this thing performs and see if it's really worth the extra money, or a little bit extra money, than the CR920X, because your X model is about $800, and these are coming in, it looks like about $890 for the MSRP, so not too much more. They're still below $900. They're actually right in line with your Hellcat Pro Comp and your X Macro from Sig. So that's good to see that they have it at a competitive price. And if this thing shoots at all like I expect it to, it's probably going to be one of the flattest shooting compact size guns on the market with an excellent capacity. So let's get to shooting. One thing I think that is important to mention about the CR920XP from Shadow Systems is a lot of times the comments we get in regards to negativity about Shadow Systems, that they're just a Glock clone. Well, what Glock does Glock make that's like this pistol, even remotely like this? They don't make a single one. They don't make any comp pistols that are like this. They don't make any slimlines that are like this. They don't make any 15-round capacity magazines for their slimlines. They don't do anything that this has. And ultimately, there's nothing on this pistol that is Glock. This was all manufactured by Shadow Systems. That's something I just thought was important to make mention of. In general, too, talk about there's a slight bevel to the magwell here on the CR920XP, which is the same for the X model as well. And it's real nice because it helps in a way, too, because it kind of kicks that pinky out a touch, but it also gives you a nice place to insert magazines. Good aggressive slide serrations, easy to do a press check with the pistol as well, which I found is really nice on these. So let's get this thing zeroed. We're at 10 yards now on the target. Once we get this thing zeroed, we'll shoot a few different drills and things like that, and I'll give you guys some impressions. Woo! So it didn't go into battery there, but usually these have a 200 round break-in period as what Shadow Systems prescribes, but the pistol is very flat shooting. So there's actually a failure to eject. So another failure to feed there. Looks like it's already zeroed. So stovepipe. It looks like it's clearing up. So we had about, 3 or 4 malfunctions there at the beginning. They were all failure to extract issues to start with. Again, first shots out of the gun. After that, they cleared up. So first, let's say 4 or 5 rounds, malfunction-based stuff, gun-related 100%. It's not ammo-related. The gun is very, very flat shooting. I'm going to have to get this thing just a slight adjustment on the zero, but it does feel really flat to shoot. It's really nice. So good zero. As long as I get my trigger press down properly with the pistol, it won't have any issues. The pistol is very flat shooting. It's a significant difference from the CR920X. The XP, no issues on this magazine here. It feels fantastic. It's a very flat shooting gun. I mean, the pistol is just, it does not really move very much whatsoever. Really what you see a lot of times with pistols in this size category is you almost get a little bit of like a snap to them, and this just, there is none. Ejections are starting to look up a little bit better too. I noticed they're a little bit weak from the very beginning. The pistol though is very, very flat shooting. There is no snap whatsoever in this thing, and that's what you're accustomed to a lot of times with pistols in this size category. So right there, that's 4 mags down with this thing. We'll go load up a few more, and then I'll go run into shooting a few different drills, do some transitions and things like that. But so far, I am very impressed with this. This is actually probably one of the first pistols, though, from Shadow Systems where there has been any kind of malfunctions right out of the gate. The only other pistol I want to say is I had maybe 1 or 2 with the XR920. That's been a while. Now this one here, obviously there were 4 or 5 there right at the very beginning, all failures to extract, which, again, like I said, they do say there's a break-in period with these, and it looks like it's already cleared up. So we'll continue to monitor that, and if we have any more issues, of course, we'll report that to you. What I just completed was actually shooting the dope drill from Achilles Heel Tactical. It's a drill that I regularly do with full-size pistols from an outside the waistband holster. But what I noticed is shooting the CR920XP, I didn't see a huge difference in my shooting ability shooting this smaller pistol over a full-size, let's say XR920P, my AXG Legion, the new Walther PDP matched steel frame. I didn't see a huge difference, which is what's truly incredible about this pistol, because it immediately showed me that the pistol itself shoots a lot more like a full-size gun than it does more like a micro compact or compact size slimline gun. You'll notice, yes, I have some rounds out here that are outside of the thing. No excuses for that whatsoever. But what I've noticed is you'll notice that overall the shot group itself for this target is pretty tight. And we're looking, we're starting here, we start at 5 yards, then 10 yards, 15, 20, and then 25 yards. And each one of these hits is accountable for it. And what I'm happy with is that from 10 to 15, it's pretty darn good. And actually on that last group, yeah, I slowed down, but my hits were better at 25 than what they were at 20. And the pistol just tracks super straight, and you can really see, left and right wise, we're not getting a whole lot of movement there. And overall flat wise, you notice how most of these shots are all staying up here with the exception of this little guy down here. But that's more like dot acquisition up here with these. Overall, the pistol itself shoots very flat, and I'm very happy with how it shoots, because shooting this pistol, what this tells me without making any, objective judgment or whatever it is that I'm able to shoot a smaller, more concealable pistol nearly as well as I could shoot my XR920P or like my Walther or my AXG Legion, which those three pistols are what I shoot the most. And so I'm shooting this pistol nearly as good, but in a smaller frame gun that I hardly ever shoot compared to those. So really great to see that. We're gonna shoot some more today, make some more evaluations and show you guys that recoil a little bit more close up. And then also we'll talk about the trigger on the CR series of pistols. What I want to do now is walk you guys through the trigger press on the CR920XP. Probably one of the biggest gripes I get about the CR series of pistols on our videos is that the triggers, they suck. I'll tell you is that with every single Shadow Systems pistol, just like every other striker fire pistol with the exception of your Walther series, and maybe really even the 320s, there is like a trigger break-in. So the more rounds you shoot through the pistol, the smoother that trigger gets overall. So like my CR920, the original one, that pistol has a ton of rounds. The trigger on it, it feels really nice. My MR, my XR, and things like that. The more rounds you put through these triggers, the smoother they get. Some folks will complain and say for that price range, it should already be smooth. I don't necessarily disagree with you, but what I'll tell you, shoot it more, the trigger will smooth out. So this pistol itself right now, as it sits, close to 200 rounds through it now for our video. So let's get into it. So out in front of us here, you'll see I have some take up there with the trigger, some take up, and then I'm going to meet a slight resistance. So take up there, there's some take up, some resistance. We'll come back on it some. I should be at the edge of the plunger, and then it breaks. So there's really no mistaking where that wall is. We'll see that tactile audible reset. Okay. Very audible, very tactile. You can't miss it if you're trying to ride the reset. So again, we'll come across a little bit. And again, it breaks very crisp and very clean across that. Now you have to get across the striker plunger. So a lot of people on Sig triggers, Glock triggers, they feel that bit of resistance like, oh, this is the wall, there's mush. No, that's not the wall. You're not there yet. You have to push through it. So the same thing with this thing. So we're gonna hit that a little bit of resistance. So you get the resistance, you have more creep. It's like a second stage, like a two-stage basically. Push through the second stage and you hit a wall. So we'll push through that stage, at the wall. Push through the stage, at the wall. There's really no mistaking where that's at. I mean, it's a very predictable trigger. With the trigger being as predictable as it is, it allows you to be able to shoot it nearly as well as you can some of the very, let's say, crisp triggers with no, let's say, stage in their basics. So with your 320 triggers, they have it. With these triggers, they have it as well. It's really very common amongst Glock style pistols in general. And it's very easy to notice. Now, one thing I want to show you real quick too is like on my hand, you'll notice I'm getting a little bit of slide bite. On occasion, I get that with the CR920X as well. With this pistol, it's really no exception. For me, it's just from getting a very high grip up on the pistol. You know, my hand's up there and I'm meeting, my grip up there and I'm meeting in there. You'll see I get a very high grip and there's just enough space for that slide to ultimately overcome the thumb there. And sometimes it just catches, and that's gonna be from acquiring my grip or whatever it may be. But really, with a more like relaxed thumb coming on top of your other thing, you'll avoid it. Most people will not have that issue. I'm one of the few people I know that when they shoot these, they constantly get it. It's just, it happens for me. And it just really, I know at this point, I'm surprised I just haven't just lost that bit of flesh. But overall, the pistol shoots really great. Let's shoot a few more mags. Let's talk about that recoil cycle. So a lot of times with these smaller pistols, you get it where the dot will leave the window. And let's see if that happens, if I'm noticing that whatsoever. A little bit of dot leaving the window at the top, but it just tracks very flat and very straight and stays on target where I want it to be. Overall, the pistol, I mean, if you're talking like recoil reduction wise versus the CR920X, 20% I'd say, it feels really nice. And you'll notice too, throughout this review, you know, this first few rounds, we had those malfunctions. They were all failure to extract or failure to feed type problems, mostly because of extraction. They're gone. We haven't had any issues. You know, I lubed the pistol up to start with. It's getting dirty, it's getting hot. You know, we're shooting 115 grain ammunition, which is a little bit on the lighter side. Sometimes we'll shoot 124 or 147. I do have some Winchester Ranger we'll shoot today to finish it up because that is what I usually carry in my carry guns. But let's keep shooting this thing and we'll give you guys some final thoughts. Well, it's easy to say that the CR920X versus the CR920XP is no comparison. Having shot roughly 300 to 400 rounds through the CR920XP just now, the XP is a night and day difference than the CR920X. It is not even close to how the two of them feel. On the target, it transposes. I shot 147 grain Winchester Ranger to finish it out with my XP. Completely flawless, and in fact, those heavier weight bullets were even flatter shooting than the standard lower brass stuff. Shooting the X, compared to it, it's just not even close. The XP is an absolutely fantastic pistol. It shoots great. Yeah, we had a few malfunctions out of the gate, but after that, not one single malfunction after that. So the first few, yes, broke through all the rounds, no issues after that, and the thing just seems to shoot really, really flat. The comp on here is very effective. It takes every little bit of snap out you would expect with this pistol, and it is a great shooting gun. You know, folks are gonna ask, would you choose this or the new Smith & Wesson, you know, Carry Comp? Well, that's a thicker frame gun with the same capacity and a crappier optics cut, so I would definitely pick this over that pistol if you're looking for a carry gun. Now, we will do a full comparison head-to-head video with the other comped micros on the market, but I'm telling you right now, they're gonna have an uphill battle against the all-new CR920XP from Shadow Systems.